So we're with Paddy Gower. Paddy Gower Has Issues, and boy, I knew that before. But I knew that before anyone.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Let's
here
go
we
back to the start.
Here we go.
Go to the start. How did
Well,
we
what
meet?
about hello? What about start with hello?
Oh, that's boring.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Paddy.
Okay. Let's get into it.
How are you?
Get into it. Rip me to shreds. Come on.
How did I end up with a podcast? You ended up with your own TV show.
Well, you've had your own TV show. You've had your own radio show. Now you're a step ahead of me. I'll be the one doing it because I've always kind of followed you.
You have, yeah.
I'll eventually have a podcast. So you're just ahead of the curve as normal.
Okay, so anything goes on a podcast. It's not the same broadcasting standards and so forth. So you can go into the gutter.
So that's how you ended up here. You've found your natural home.
How did we meet? I wanted you on board in the press gallery.
Yeah, I came down to the press gallery and I was a print journo at the New Zealand Herald, and you effectively rescued me because I was working under Audrey Young, and
not under her,
and you came and saved me out of print, and you liked the cut of my jib, and you came and gave me my first job in television.
Do you remember what I said to you?
You said that you would always have my back, and you also told me that you would never let me fail, and I'm really glad that you've invited me onto your show, Duncan. I've got my own show coming out this week, and
it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really exciting, but it's pretty heavy as well, and it's made me reflect on a lot of things, like my own family and friends and people who have supported me, and while we were doing some of the publicity, I did an interview with a guy, and you'll know this guy, Shane Curry. Have you heard of him?
Yeah. Shane with a Y.
Yeah, and he interviewed me, and I wanted to really say something to him, which was to thank you for everything you did to get me here, and I'm glad that he actually put it in his article. But it's even better to be here to say it to your face, because I wouldn't be here without you. And there have been times when, like, I've tried to distance myself from your legacy, and I wanted to, your ego gets big and you think you do it all yourself, and I didn't used to like being said that, I was your apprentice and that sort of thing, and there's been times in the last few years where I've tried to distance myself from you, and I want to change that back, because when this show goes out, you're going to be a big part of that. Like, I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you, mate. And so when the chance came up to come in here today, like, I was just like, I'm just going to come in here and say it to Duncan's face, and just say, I just want to say thank you, mate. And I'm sorry that we haven't been in a lot of contact over the last few years. And
well, I still drink, you see, sir.
But when the show comes out, Duncan, a lot of it's because of you, because people don't know, like, when I started, I was, it was really hard, and actually people wanted to take me off TV, and there was a lot of pressure on you.
Pricks, mate.
And you stood up to that, and you fought for me, and you did it when your dad was dying, and you had other things that you needed to be worrying about, and you found energy to fight for me, and I just haven't been thankful enough about that, and so I thought I would walk in here and that would be the first thing that I would say. So I'm saying it now. I just want to thank you, bro.
You don't have to thank me. You're a star, Paddy. You worked hard. You broke stories. You had a certain swagger about you that I still love today. And we may not have seen each other, much, because we got busy lives, and I'm a daily podcaster. It's fucking busy, mate.
Yeah, I know.
This is. But you go in there, you do it live. You'll be in and out within an hour, mate.
No, it's a piece.
I'll be here at 6 a.m, mate.
It's a piece of piss, mate. It's an absolute piece of piss.
No, hey, Paddy, I'm really proud of you, and you don't have to thank me for that stuff. But you did make me write up a separate contract to the one you had with MediaWorks.
Yeah,
so you had your official contract, and then you had the 18-point one that we wrote down with a bit of felt pen. Remember?
Yeah.
Boxes I had to tick.
You wrote me out a private contract, really, of things that you'd do for me that the bosses wouldn't put in. But mate, when your old man was dying and that, and you still found the energy to help me at work, like, I just look back on that and I wasn't thankful enough to you and to come in here.
You don't have to be, Paddy. I'm proud of you, mate. Thank you for acknowledging it. But you're your own star, and you had all your own qualities and talent, mate. that time you chased a few of those guys around the parliamentary halls, that was good for me because I suddenly could get out of the firing line and not be that arsehole doing all that stuff.
I mean, we had a lot of fun. And
Chris Carter, did you ever go at him in the Choral Club or something?
no, you had a go at Chris Carter in the Choral Club. Then
right.
he had you up about it. You denied it, and then you privately admitted that actually happened.
Hey, tell me more about your show. So Paddy Gower Has Issues.
Yeah, so it's I think everybody, and you included, you know that I've got a lot of issues, and
We all have, mate.
and yeah, we've all got issues, and that's what the show's about, and it's going to focus on things that matter to Kiwis, which is, the kind of people that call up and listen to your podcast, and the kind of people that back you, and we're going to look at big issues and break them down and look for solutions.
Great.
For instance, we're going to
You
look.
pitched my talk show from Today FM.
Well, we're going to.
Dave, come and take him away.
and there's things out there that are really important to us. Like, we're going to look at reading in New Zealand. Like, there's a lot of people in this country that can't read now, and
boys are dyslexic. Everywhere I go, I meet boys that are dyslexic.
yeah, and there's ways that we can work with that, and people will see that in our show.
Yeah.
And we're also going to do stuff like, Duncan, this will be another one for you because I know you love going to the supermarket. Why is the music in supermarkets so sad? Why can't we have happier music? Yeah, that's right.
Well, I must go. I found during COVID that the supermarket was my sort of, was my highlight. But
yeah.
Is it sad? Is it?
Yeah, the music's sad because
Is New World sadder than Package
and it's sort of, it's to make you spend more time in the supermarket and therefore potentially spend more money. And
so it's cutting it.
So these are huge issues facing New Zealand that we'll be doing as well. So there's going to be the big issues that we face, and also, people might say they're smaller issues, but they're things that matter to people, and we're going to do it in a funny way, and we're going to have comedians reading the news because people will often say that the news is too grim for them. Well,
it is though, isn't it?
Well, it is in a lot of ways when you see it sometimes. So we're going to flip the script on that and have comedians actually read the news, and people will be able to get their weekly news, through the show.
Quite a unique show.
Yeah, just a bit like me, unique.
Yeah, but if you've put a huge amount of time in the back rooms on this show, you've really storyboarded it. And,
with lots of storyboards, brainstorms, and storyboards.
Were you involved in the brainstorms?
Like a good brainstorm. And there's been a lot of work done, and for me, it's just looking at you, and it is coming home like it's easy to bat away the questions a lot of the time about it being big, but it's a big thing for me.
It's huge, it's as big as it gets, Paddy.
Yeah, and I was just down in New Plymouth at the weekend and reflecting on, people like you and stuff like that have helped me get to where I am, and I know that it's the anniversary of your dad dying recently, isn't it? Because it's always close to the
Saturday.
Close to the budget.
Last Saturday.
Yeah, last Saturday.
Close to the budget. You remember that?
Yeah.
Budget day he died,
Yeah, because he died on a budget day.
Mum thinks I worked that day. I didn't, did I?
No, you didn't work, mate.
You were thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, we were through, which was pretty hard, but you were around a lot of the time. And my mum's anniversary is around the time of the budget, so I know when the budget comes up. I'm like, geez, I better blooming check.
We lost our parents.
What day this was. Yeah, so it will be my mum's anniversary when the show's. I've just realised that it's going to be my mum's anniversary.
She'd be so proud of you, Paddy.
16 years when the show goes out.
She'd be so proud of you.
Yeah, she would be.
She really would be.
Yeah.
But do you pinch yourself a little bit and think, because it was a tough start, it was a tough ride at the start there, and Mark Jennings would ring me up at night and say, "What have we done here?" And I'd just say, "Piss off."
Yeah.
And he'd laugh and giggle, and he had, you got to know that Mark had your back.
I know he did, and I think sometimes when I say to people, that I nearly didn't make it, people kind of think that I'm joking, but that that I was fucking terrible on TV.
Well,
and
you were learning, mate. We all learned.
We
were all terrible.
I just learned a lot slower, and this show would not be happening without you, and I'm sorry that over time, like for whatever reason, we can get on a psychologist's couch together. I mean, we'll be there for a long time.
Do we have to, mate?
Oh, shit.
There's no couch left for me. I've done it hard the last few years, Paddy. You got no idea.
Yeah.
I've marriage break up and sold my house the other day, and I'm living at my mum's house, and but in many ways, I feel free. Buster's playing rugby, not league anymore. He's playing blindside. Scored 3 tries on the weekend. That's the stuff I'm proud of.
Yeah,
proud of the day. It's like,
did he get around the park too?
Yeah, he got around the park.
Yeah, so he's not like his old man. He didn't know shortcuts.
Well, I actually taught him some shortcuts. I said, I know you're puffing, mate, so you want to get that A to B as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
You know that route you take across the field?
Yeah. So, the old triangle, the hypotenuse.
Yeah.
But, mate...
The what?
But, yeah, I think, what you're saying there, Duncan, I mean, we could both get on the psychologist's couch and, I don't know why I wanted to distance myself from you, and you get a big ego and you want people to think it's all you, and other people didn't help you along the way.
It is you, though. Your success is your success, Paddy.
Partly, but
heaps of people helped us along the way. A lot of people helped me along the way. I always talk about them. But at the end of the day, it's your drive and your motivation and your talent.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen unless you make it fly. And I knew you'd do it.
Yeah.
It's very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Am I busy Wednesday night? It's Wednesday night, isn't
Wednesday night, 7:30. 7:30, you'll get some material. You'll get some material for the podcast, mate. You'll get some material for the podcast.
Yeah. Have you listened to the podcast?
Yep.
All right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I listened to the first podcast, and I was walking home, and I was desperate to listen to your podcast, but I didn't have my earbuds.
Oh, yep.
So I
bought some?
No, I just had my phone out, and I was listening to you like this.
Oh.
And then I went into a shop to buy some Weet-Bix for the morning.
Yes.
So I went in and I went around the shop and I bought Weet-Bix and I bought the milk.
You had them on a speaker?
And I took it up. I had you on speaker.
It's unusual.
And then I came out of the shop like this with my Weet-Bix out of the dairy, and a guy was waiting for me with a cowboy hat on, and he wanted to ask me about my position on vaccination, and he was filming me as well.
Oh, no.
And he wanted to talk about mainstream media, and I said to him, I'm listening right now to the best mainstream media podcast that you could ever listen to and educate yourself, Duncan Garner, his new podcast.
He said who?
And so, because I thought he might have been live streaming me or something like that, so I wanted to try and get you some free advertising.
Reality check radio.
No, I have been listening, mate.
Can I recommend the podcast when you go to supermarkets, because it'll
be better than the music. Well, we should actually try and get Countdown to play it in the supermarkets while people are shopping. That'll really.
Have you got your dad coming? You got your dad coming to the first show?
No, I'm just going to get my old man up a little later because as you know, with shows and everything, they're pretty stressful. So I might wait for. I think there's 20 shows, so I might wait for show 20.
You'll be up and down. You'll be walking up and down the path. You'll be striding, won't you? I know what you're like. You'll be busy thinking about all sorts of things, but what you should be thinking about.
Yeah. So no, I'll try not to get too distracted, mate.
And the thing also, like with pressure, like use the pressure. Take the pressure on board. Like, the pressure's a good thing, and let it channel it through your body. That'll give you performance energy. Like, bring it, mate. Like, run it straight. Like, suck it in and let it go through your body, and you'll feel it. That's what I used to do.
That's why you're the master.
Well, no, not master. AM show, I'd get the, and then you go, all right, I'm ready for anything.
Yeah, well, in Parliament, you'd fuel up on a meat salad as well.
Well, I had a meat salad with a meat salad entree. Do you remember that?
Well,
we had some fun, didn't we?
Your listeners would have to know that there was a buffet at a salad buffet, but you'd only get meat. You'd only get the meat out of the salad buffet, sort of the bits of bacon, the bits of beef, and everything.
Just all meat.
Yeah, it was meat with a meat
no
salad
beans,
entree.
Thank you. Do you remember that? You said you have me another one, boss, and I said entree. We strutted around a bit, didn't we?
Yeah, we had some good times, mate. We had some good times, and
a pretty brutal place though. It turns you feral.
Yeah, it turned me feral, and I've had, as people know, I've had to. Give up drinking alcohol. Yeah, no, I'm really good, bro. I'm really good. I'm fantastic, and I've noticed the last week, because the last week the stress has just been through the roof, and I've just noticed, I don't drink or do drugs or anything like that anymore. I'm a monk, I guess, live like a monk, and
I never say that about myself.
And I've just noticed that I can just deal with the pressure, and I can really think things through, like what I've wanted to say to you here today. Like I really thought about it before I came in here, so that that I really mean it.
I know you mean it, mate.
And you really know that I mean it, and I'm feeling great. I'm looking forward to this show now.
Well, you don't owe me a thing, mate. You do it for yourself. You just go and you're going to own it, because I know you're going to be.
Yeah, well, give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
Man hug, you all right?
Yeah, man hug. Yeah.
Thank you, Paddy, for coming in. We're about to have a man hug, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. the time we hit the fax machine. Oh, man. And McBride sent me a bill for $300. Yeah, that's Paddy Gower, folks. Thank you very much.